Hey golfers, welcome to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, what if I told you that you could gain as much as 25 yards extra carry off the tee with your current driver and your current swing speed? Well, it is possible, and it's not just me saying it, it is physics. And all we have to do is change one impact factor, and we're going to cover what that impact factor is in today's video and how we can set up to improve it. So before we get started, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as it really helps me out continue bringing this content to you guys. And I've really appreciated everybody in the comments who's been enjoying it so far, and it's been helping their game. So thank you so much for that. So let's get started. So the impact factor that we want to talk about today to get the most efficiency out of your current driver and current swing speed is called attack angle. So attack angle is measured whenever the golf club and ball meet. So think about it from here. If my club is meeting the golf ball as it's traveling down, this would be inefficient, and this is not what we want. This is probably what I see 90% of golfers that come to me in lessons are doing, not getting the distance from their driver. You could also be hitting it level, which isn't too bad, or you could be hitting it on the upswing. That's what we want to do. We want to get the club traveling up as it meets the golf ball. This is going to give us the most efficiency. So let's take a look at a few examples to see how important that one impact factor is in how far you're going to carry the golf ball. So I have here a few examples of different swing speeds and different attack angles and how far that golf ball will carry. I'll leave a link in the description for this chart so that you can check against your current swing speed and attack angle and see what the most distance you can achieve. See if it matches up with what you're actually doing. It's a good indicator to know whether you are getting the most out of your current driver. So, for example, 75-mile-an-hour swing, hitting down 5 degrees, so remember the attack angle coming down, can carry the ball 143 yards, okay? This is all assuming center face contact. If that person was to hit up 5 degrees, they could get 164 yards of carry, so that's 21 yards gain. You take someone at 90 mile an hour, which is probably more the average that I see, someone hitting down 5 degrees, you're looking at 191 carry, hitting up 5 degrees, 214. So that's a 23-yard gain on distance. As we move into the higher swing speeds, 100, you're looking at down 5 degrees, 222 carry, hitting up 5 degrees, 247. And then your high swing speeds, 115, you start to see kind of tour speeds here, hitting down 5 degrees, 266, hitting up 5, 295. So a massive difference, 29 yards. Okay, so that one impact factor can be a massive difference in how far you carry your driver. So as we've talked about attack angle, I'm going to simplify it, and we're going to talk about something called low point and how we can set up to get our low point in the right place to allow us to maximize our driver distance. So I find people relate to attack angle much better when we think about low point, okay? And these two numbers are very much the same. So think of the golf swing as a big circle, okay? The club travels on a big circle. Or think of the bottom of the swing as an arc, okay? There's a bottom to this where the club is at its lowest point. So we're going to reference the lowest point with the black tape on this alignment rod. Now remember, the downward hit is the one that we don't want because that's the least efficient. If I place the bottom of the arc in front, you can see where the alignment stick is that the golf ball is traveling down. If I bring this black spot before the golf ball, you'll see that the club is traveling up when it strikes the ball. That's the one that we want. So referencing the low point can be a much simpler way to think about it. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can set up to get that low point in the right position. So the low point of our golf swing is typically underneath the logo on our shirt, if that's on the left side of your chest. There's other variables that go into it, but it is a pretty good rule of thumb. So we're going to look at 3 things to do in your setup to try and get this point behind the golf ball, which means when it's behind the golf ball, we're heading up. And number 1 in that is going to be ball position. Number 2 is going to be stance width. And number 3 is spine tilt. So let's take a look at how we can get into this setup consistently the same every single time. So what we want to do is we want to set up to the golf ball with our feet touching and the golf ball right in the middle of those 2 feet. Then we're going to take the tiniest little step with our left, and I mean half an inch. This gets the ball position far enough forward in our stance. Next thing, we're going to take a big step with our right foot, just outside the width of our shoulders. Now those two things already has brought my low point before the golf ball. Okay. Now number 3, and probably the most important, and the one that I see people getting wrong most often, is tilting the spine. Okay. Here's the correct way that we want to do it. Once we've built our stance, feet touching, tiny step, big step, just wider than shoulders, we're going to take the club and we're going to place it down our spine. So you can see my zip on my jacket. And what I want to do is I want to tilt. I'm going to hold it in quite tight here. And I want to tilt to the point where that club touches the inside of my left leg. You see that? So here, there. Yet another thing that is going to bring this low point back before the golf ball. Now there's other variables that go into this in the golf swing, and I will have more videos on that in the future. But what we want to do is make sure our setup is prepped and ready for us hitting up. Because if your setup is wrong, you literally don't stand a chance of hitting up and maximizing the distance on your driver. For example, my ball position is too much in the middle. Maybe my spine is tilting this way. You can see that puts the low point way out in front. And I'm going to have to do something pretty wacky in the downswing to get that low point before. I'm not going to do it. There's a window there and the wife will go mad. All right, so you have to trust me. The numbers back it up. As I said, it's physics. So guys, listen, thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments about this. I will make more videos in future about how to hit up with some cool drills and stuff to maximize that distance. But if you could, before we go, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.